we're breaking down the Loser music video. In this video, we're breaking down the Loser music video. Later, we're going to break down the Go 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 music video. I am Naethan Apollo, the creator of Tales from Kazalore. I'm about to kind of go frame by frame through this Loser music video and give you all the tidbits, all the behind the scenes, any lore you may have missed along the way, explain any unexplained things. Although it's pretty straightforward, I don't think this video will be too long. Yeah, and I'll probably show you some behind the scenes stuff and like how we got to where we are. I think that'd be interesting too. So let's just get right into it, man. Let's do it. Oh yeah.
Hello.
Pause. I already got shit to say. Let me keep it going real quick.
I tiptoe when I conversate because I don't want hoes to congregate.
Okay. Let me let this first scene play through, and then we'll run it back.
I tiptoe when I conversate because I don't want hoes to congregate. Me and you are like miles away, but I guess I got time today. Hey,
Yup.
Take a look at my face. No sleep, but I'm wide awake. And when I make a splash, I'll take a dash just for a chance to ride the wave. And
Okay, that's like a good stopping point. So let's talk about all of this. First things first. We're seeing Arthur for the first time animated, right? A lot of people asked why I chose Loser and Go 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 to be the music videos. That's because all the other songs either involved all of the characters or were about characters you didn't know. So like Runaway is about Commander Hakeem. And like My World is about Genesis. And Mariner obviously is about everyone. And but the music videos and the singles, they come out before the album comes out. And so it felt weird to be like, because originally I wanted to do Mariner, but I was like, well, we can't, because the whole point of Mariner being cool is you get to see everybody, and the people won't even appreciate it because they won't even know who everybody is. So we did Loser because everybody knows Arthur, everybody loves Arthur. And then we did Go 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 because everybody knows Apollo, and through Apollo only mentioning that he had like one best friend, people can figure out that the other guy is Tyler, right? And so that's why we had to choose those two songs to be the singles. But we're working on other music videos. We are working on other ones very slowly, very surely. Perhaps we'll do the whole album. I don't know about all that, but we're certainly working on at least one more. And I'm not going to tell you what song it is, but it's coming out pretty good. I'm also, by the way, small tangent. I'm going to yap for a long time here. Small tangent. I am theorizing still about doing a Discord, but doing a paid Discord. $3 a month, paid Discord, to help fund more animated music videos. Plus, hold up. $3 a month is the equivalent to streaming one of my songs 700 times in a month. You know what I mean? You want to talk about supporting me. If you're a member of a paid for Discord, a $3 a month Discord, which doesn't exist yet, I'm just theorizing it. That'd be like listening to my songs 8,500 times in a year. And on average, my song's like 2.5 minutes long, right? So that'd be like listening to my music for 20,000 minutes in the year. Or you could just subscribe to a Patreon and get access to a Discord and a really awesome community that I will also be in and chatting in and mingling in. I think that's cool. And it's a way to, financially support my creative endeavors. That's a side tangent. Let's talk about Arthur Crone, dude. Let's go back to this very first shot.
Hello.
Boom, right there. Did you see it? I'll run it back. Boom! Did you see it? He pushes his hair out of his face. Okay, now, this is something I want to talk about. And then let me point out another detail here.
I tiptoe when I conversate because I don't want host to congregate.
Let me get a wide. Here we go. You see this? Now, look at this Arthur. And then look at this Arthur. Aside from slight facial differences, because going from sketches to animation changes things a little bit, do you notice any major design change between this Arthur and this Arthur? You poor bastards watching on a phone can't see shit. The difference between both of those, right? The difference between the hair and the difference between that hair push. The beauty is in the details, okay? The beauty is in the details. Arthur is a black guy. He is an African-American man. When you are designing black characters as a white person, there are some things that you may not key into or be privy to that are true to the black experience. When we first got designs for Arthur, he had 2 locks on the side and then 3 on top. But if you actually look at 95% of black people who have braids or locks or what have you, nobody gets a lock right down the middle. They split the middle and they do locks on either side. So this is not an accurate depiction of what someone with braids or locks would actually have. And the reason I say braids or locks, I'm well aware that they're different, but I haven't fully decided on what I want these to actually be, and it's kind of ambiguous in the art style, so. But the point is, in real life, you split the middle. And so when we actually came to animating it, we split the middle. And so that's number one. And then the other thing with the hair push.
Hello?
Originally, I'm going to take my hat off for this and show my big ass forehead. Originally, Arthur is seen pushing back his hair like this.
Hello?
With the fingers. With the fingers. With the fingers. With the fingers. Now, I spotted this in the draft, and I was like, is that how a black person would actually do it, though? Because they got, like, thick-ass locks. Surely, you do it with the palm. And so, you know what we did?
Hello?
Let me get this freeze frame here. What we did was, and there is absolutely no shame in this, and if you're designing black characters, you should do this. What we did was ask the black person. Fucking shock and awe. We said, yo, dude, you got twists. You got locks. When you got hair on your face, how do you move it out of the way? And they recorded a video for us and sent it to us. And notably, it wasn't like this. It was with the palm. The palm. The palm! I'm gassing this the fuck up, but my point is, you should care about these things, right? You should care about these things. Even though Arthur exists in a fantasy world, you know, he's still being represented as a black character. And so when you're doing black character design, you should keep in mind about these things, that things might be different from your existing perspective. I've only ever adjusted my hair with my fingers. And so had the artist who was originally animating it, because they were also a white person. You have to be able to, you know, pull away from your personal experience and be like, is this right? And then, you know, even with the way you animate them, not just the design, but the way you animate them, you got to make sure you're doing right, because I believe it's you know, the beauty's in the details. And, you know, most people probably wouldn't care, but I feel like it adds up. As in, because we take care and affection and get into getting things right, the character feels better. Even if you don't realize it feels better. I don't know. Am I going crazy? Have I spent the last 20 minutes talking about this and nobody gives a fuck? Maybe. But this is a music video breakdown, and I knew I wanted to show that off because I think that's a really cool part of the creative process. I think that's cool, dude. I think it's cool to care. I think it's cool to try and get things right. We could have totally let both of those slide and nobody would give a fuck. 90% of people wouldn't give a fuck. Until like 5 years down the line, when a black cosplayer is trying to look like Arthur, he's like, man, I gotta get a twist in the middle of my head.
Hello. I tiptoe when I conversate, cause I don't want host to congregate. Me and you are like miles away, but I guess I got time today. Hey, take a look at my face. No sleep, but I'm wide awake. And when I make a splash, I'll take a dash just for a chance to ride the wave. And
another thing I want to show. So we were obviously working as a team, and every single shot that they did had to be run. Oh, I doxed myself. Had to be run through me. Right? So a lot of the times with this particular video, the animator was taking a lot of very big creative swings, and I felt so bad. The storyboard artist was taking a lot of very big creative swings for their sketches, and I felt so bad that time and time again, I had to be like, hey, that's wrong, hey, that wouldn't happen, hey, we wouldn't do that. Let's watch this intro here. This is like a really early rendition.
I tiptoe when I conversate, cause I don't
This
want
scene didn't
host to
happen, got
congregate.
cut.
Me and you are like miles away, but I guess I got time today. Hey, take a look at my face. No sleep, but I'm wide awake. And when I make a splash,
Oh, man.
I'll take a dash just for a chance to ride the wave. And
Very, very, very different. So many things wrong with that. I felt so bad. I tore this version to shreds.
when I conversate, cause I don't want host to congregate. Me and you
Twist, cool pose. See, we kept that.
are like miles away, but I guess
Throws his climbing axes. His only weapon? No.
I got time today.
And then they stick in the giant. And then, okay, I was like, okay. And then we see him climbing. I'm like, this is cool. Then look at this.
It's no sleep, but I'm wide awake.
The sizing is all off. Bro, this is like, the giants are supposed to be like 40 to 50 feet tall, 30 to 50 feet tall. This giant feels like it's like 10 feet tall. That's why he's like throwing the axes and swinging up there. And so, like, bro was taking really big creative swings. I was like, hold on, buddy. I got some lore to dump on you. And that was like a regular part of our early chats, was making sure that the things lined up with the lore of the world. Because, like, we can't do this. This is the first time you're ever seeing climbing be animated. Dude, we did like 15 renditions of this scene until we got it right. Until we got it how it is in the video. And by the way, like, so many stuff we had to figure out, like, Katrin Snodgrass, who did work on Invincible, like, oh, sorry, I gotta switch over. My bad. Katrin Snodgrass, who did work on Invincible, was so clutch in everything, every aspect of the game when it came to this. Like, all these drawings back here, they aren't just backgrounds. Like, she did this thing called kit bashing, where she took a bunch of models from a bunch of 3D models from a bunch of places, mashed them all together, the mountains, the buildings, everything. She made basically a full 3D model of the Masmus Training Academy. So for these music videos, when we had like Arthur running around, and especially for Go Go Go, where it's literally like a heist video, like we need to know where these boys are running to and where they're going. She basically 3D modeled the entire place. And so whenever we needed a background, she could just move the camera in 3D space and then draw over it. So everything remains consistent for all the backgrounds. And that's just so cool. And like other lore stuff we had to figure out, like at the very beginning, she was like, what does the Masmus Training Academy even look like? And I was like, well, it's in the mountains, but it's in like a valley in the mountains. And there's probably like a field for training, but also a place to go like hiking. There's like probably a large cliff nearby, a thick forest nearby. It's like half boot camp, half university. So there's going to be like sections with lots of like buildings, but also sections for lots of training. And all of this we're seeing for the first time, including like we saw these in Golden Era, or we heard about them, like training dummies, giant training dummies. And we're like, what do those even look like? We had to figure it out. We had to figure out what they look like for this shit. And we did.
Tiptoe when
That's
I
great.
conversate, 'cause I don't want hosts to congregate. Me and you are like miles away, but I guess I got time today. Hey, take a look at my face. No
Arthur, so getting into the lore of the actual video, Arthur seeing his dad's face
time today.
in the gleaming of the sunlight. He sees his dad as a giant, because his dad kind of is a giant, right? His dad is a legend, and it is kind of like this foreboding figure in Arthur's life. Little symbolism there.
Hey, take a
Symbolism.
look at my face. No sleep, but I'm wide awake. And when I make a splash, I'll take a dash just for a chance to ride the wave. And you say, you get it. Get what? Get real. You don't know
Arthur being a dick to Apollo.
how it all feels to be the thought when
This is hilarious, dude. Had to get a meme in there. Absolutely had to get a meme in there.
they think of ideal. You got no plan for action. No drive.
D&D
no
reference.
passion. What did you think would happen? Baby, you're a loser. A loser. You'll
Apollo sucks. And we saw this in the album. Apollo kind of sucks, dude. Why Apollo look like a small child? That is it. So it used to be worse. Katrin, the cleanup artist, had like there was a similar looking character on Invincible who was, as I understand it, much younger than Apollo. But because she was doing work on this in tandem with doing work on Invincible, she kept on drawing him to appear very young. And so some shots he looks really young, some he looks better. But overall, it's fine.
get no company. No company. 'Cause you're
Look at this! Spencer and Jen. Hidden away. You never knew. You freaking never knew, dude. You never knew.
a loser. A loser. You'll get no company.
Tyler. First Tyler appearance. Tyler and Apollo shooting the shit.
No company. Not from me. So pick up the tempo, pick up the pace. If that's too hard, get the fuck out the way.
Also, speaking of tying things to Invincible, Katrin also very quickly realized that Tyler's character design is so much like Mark's that sometimes some shots it just looks like Mark from Invincible. But they literally look identical in their character design. And so it just is what it is. I think it works.
Hey, you'll just slow me down and stop acting like you know me now. You're a chump. You're a
Loser.
You're an all-star beggar. I'm a chooser. You'll catch me at the top when the timer is stopped. And any other story is a rumor.
Spencer and Jen. Whoa! Whoa! Spencer and Jen! Once again. Snuck in there. You didn't even know. You didn't even know, dude. There they are.
It's a rumor. Cause I'm like that. And it's not my fault if you don't like that. If I show up to fight, I'ma show up to win. If you ain't like that, don't fight back. See, we ain't.
That's such a cool shot, dude. Let me just do this frame by frame. How do you frame by frame? Anybody know the shortcut to frame by frame on the keyboard? For YouTube? I'm scared. I'm scared to push stuff. Is Spencer massive or is Jen really short? Both. Spencer is massive and Jen is really short. Those keys, huh? Where the fuck are those keys? Okay, yeah. So we got this epic sort of hand-to-hand combat training going on where Arthur and Apollo are fighting because Arthur does not like Apollo. And check this shit out. Apollo actually disarms Arthur, gets his fucking little fucking shit away. But Arthur's the best, dude. Arthur is the freaking best. Apollo takes a swing. Oop! Hook the leg! Hook the leg! Oh, look at this distortion on the arm. Look at this perspective. Arthur's arm is like as big as Apollo's body as he tosses him. And then gets him in an arm bar. He doesn't even need a weapon to beat Apollo, dude. He doesn't even need a weapon. Crazy. Passes him. Passes him. Blink and you miss it. Apollo's below him. Apollo is below him, climbing not as fast or as hard.
Don't blame me. I'll win no buts or maybes. Cause baby, you're a loser. A loser. You'll get no company.
Now we get into like Arthur's lore, you know?
No company. Cause you're a loser.
Baby Arthur!
Loser. You'll get no
And his scary father!
company. No company. Baby,
Damn.
you're a loser. A loser. You'll get no company. No company. Not from me. Cause you're a loser.
Literally living in his dad's shadow!
You'll get no company. No company. Not from me.
Having nightmares about his dad! Another meme, by the way. Yeah, I think I've broken this down before, but Arthur's dad was a legendary climber, and when Arthur was born, he was raised as, you know, a soldier and a successor to his dad's legacy. And that puts a lot of pressure on a kid, and his dad was more of like a coach than a dad. What's up with the spikes? He's gifted. He is gifted. Watch the Wildflowers breakdown video. It's the last video before this one. I explain blessings and gifts. It means he has magical powers. But yeah, his dad's a legend, and even though he's passed, he's no longer here. Clearly, the trauma of his father still lives on, and he projects those insecurities onto others. He calls Apollo a loser, but secretly it's because he's internalizing his dad calling him a loser. Don't ever be a loser. Apollo is gifted 2, yes, but we don't know what it is. We also don't know what Arthur's is. But Arthur knows what his is, but Apollo doesn't know what his is. Are we tracking? Watch the Wildflower breakdown video. It's titled "Everything You Missed in whatever." It's on my YouTube. The video before this one. Arthur's dad equals RG's granddad. What do you think fucking the Golden Era was? The Golden Era was a testing ground for a lot of sort of thematic ideas that I had for characters. Not to mention there's something poetic about like people going through the same struggles in different generations. You know what I mean? Like, wow, we're not so different. That's it. Shout out Lonely Bros Animation. We got more music videos on the way. But that's the loser breakdown. So, YouTube, this is the end of the loser breakdown. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. I hope this was informative. I kind of top-loaded this whole conversation at the very beginning of the music video. But, I mean, this one's pretty straightforward, you know? It's pretty straightforward. I feel like there's not much else to really say. So, should we go on to go, go, go?